to another episode of 507 Garage. In this episode, I'm just swapping the steering wheel that I have in the car. Right now, I have a limited edition D&D Performance Interior steering wheel, and I'll show you what that one looks like in a little bit. And because it's such a limited edition steering wheel that they released last year, I don't want to get it dirty. That's why, even though it has been on the car, I've had it kind of in its foam wrapping, just so I can move the car, steer the car around when I'm moving around the garage. But I need to put the old one, which is an OMP steering wheel that I like. It's called the OMP Targa steering wheel. I like it because it's really nice and thick. It fits in the hands really good. But the D&D Performance Interior steering wheel fits great as well. I have to just order another D&D Interior Performance Interior steering wheel that I can replace with that OMP Targa steering wheel, just because the OMP steering wheel, I bent it by accident. I don't even know what I was doing. And I put a lot of pressure as I was aligning something when I was sitting inside the car. This was years ago, and I bent it really badly. So by me trying to bend it back, with a hammer and some other tools, it's just not perfect anymore. And I'm not excited about the steering wheel anymore. That's one of the reasons I bought a D&D Performance Interior steering wheel. And I've collaborated with them on their first cancer awareness steering wheel. So every year that they release one, I'm really interested in getting one. And I've kind of passed on the other ones they've released. And this one from last year, I got that one. But anyways, you should see the video shortly in regards of me swapping the steering wheels. I ended up having to get another quick release. That way I have the steering wheels with 2 quick releases. And these are from Sweet Manufacturing. So I'll share the part number, even though the part number on the one that is on the Targa is different from the part number that is on the D&D steering wheel. But it's pretty much the same connector in regards of what goes in the shaft on the steering column. So you'll see that on the video. And also I'll be kind of giving you an update on the Lexus, giving you an update on the Chrysler 300S, which is the V8 5.7 that I have, as well as on the BMW. So there's a lot of updates in this video. My hand's getting tired, so give me a moment. All right, sorry. So as I was saying, in this video, we'll have a lot of updates on all 3 cars. So the first one will be the Chrysler 300 V8. This is the 5.7 liter Hemi. This one, the only problem that I'm having with it right now, since it's my daily driver, is that the stereo doesn't work. And when I checked on the last video, or not the last video, you'll see it on when I actually put this together, that when I checked the fuse for the amplifier, which is a 25 fuse, things like the mini short profile fuse, it was blown. So I replaced it, but it still didn't allow for sound to come through the stereo still. So either I need to unplug the power or the connectors off of it and try to see if that takes care of it. And then I can give you an update on the Lexus and how the transmission mount worked for that one, as well as an update on the BMW. So you will see those updates in this video. So let's get to it. right, the first update will be the Lexus. So the Lexus here is probably one of the biggest projects in the garage. We'll eventually do something with the Chrysler 300, probably cam the car or the engine and also add boost with a supercharger on it. But it won't be until later, since the main focus is getting the Lexus up and running. We have a show in November we want to get to, and it's very important for the brand for us to get this car there. So this car is going to be making it to Patience Metal Fab. They're the guys that build our cage. Pretty much any fabrication work that you've seen that has been done on the car, Patience Metal Fab has made that or created that for the car. So a lot of the little things that we need now is, for example, the steering column that is in the car, which is a Sweet Manufacturing steering column, needs to have, I think it's like a bushing or sleeve right where the steering wheel is, so it doesn't shake when you steer. Because right now the opening, the OEM opening that was there is too big, so it needs to be reduced and aligned in a way that the steering wheel column can actually move to move the front wheels, but without shaking. As right now when I move it, it just shakes a lot. So they'll be helping me fix that. We have also the new Performance Air jacks. They will be also fabricating that. I have the FEV fire suppression system. They will be adding the little brackets where the nozzles go. So from the engine to the cockpit to the rear of the car, they'll be adding those nozzles. If you see some of the stuff for the fuel system, they'll be helping me finish that. As right now, I kind of routed most of it, but where the dry brake is, they'll help me fix that. Since right now I made the opening, I made the whole opening in there for the dry brake, but it doesn't sit flush with the car. So as I am not a fabricator, they will be helping me fix that and clean that up. The wing, even though I'm using a pretty much this entire wing setup is for that car. I got this before even owning this BMW, so the fact that I ended up getting one is just luck. But this wing mount that I have here with 2x4s right now is just to mock it up. But eventually it would be best to just have something a little more solid, since this wing needs to be chassis mounted. So they'll be helping me with that as well. And what else? Under these Serial 9 over fenders, the slids or the opening of the wheel well needs to be just welded shut, and they'll be helping with that. So a lot of the things that are needed for this car are small, but I don't have the fabrication skills to get that done. So they'll be helping me with that. The other thing is on the engine side, should be done paying my Hypertune invoice. I had a large invoice from Hypertune that I'm still paying off, and that would include turbo manifold with individual EGTs on it, intake manifold, intercooler, and some additional parts that will be fun to show you guys once we receive them. We'll be running a Comp Turbo, ball bearing turbo from Comp Turbo, and some of the additional goodies that you will see on the car. Right now I just have it covered so it doesn't get dusty, and you know, when I open the garage, leaves and other debris doesn't get on the engine valve cover and things like that. But Patience Metal Fab will be helping me basically get this car ready to go to paint. Paint is already set up for this car. I just need to get it ready, basically strip it from all the things that you see on the car so I can get to the paint shop. Once it gets to the paint shop, it will be painted. We're also collaborating with a livery render designer for the car, so you'll be able to see how that looks at the end. But that is pretty much the setup or the goal with this car. When I tried installing that CSB transmission mount, it's off by a little bit. I'll show you in a little bit how far off it is. Even with the OEM transmission flat mount, it would need to be cut a little bit, kind of like a half U or half circle will need to be cut off right in the middle so it can actually fit into the transmission better. But you'll hear in a little bit the update for that. So for the BMW, we're going to be running an E-Late supercharger. We're going to be running a 3UZ on this car, and the 3UZ is then going to be mated to a 335i. manual transmission. Right now, this car has a 335i manual transmission, so I'll take that 335i manual transmission off of this 2JZ and put it on that one along with the 3UZ. And then this transmission, Altered Intent, who was gonna be running it on his K20 swap rat rod, is using a different version or a different model BMW transmission. So I ended up keeping this one. He went with a slightly different setup. He's using an adapter plate for that one as well. So with all my mess, this is the one that I am gonna be running on the Lexus. It's the same gearbox inside. It's just slightly different, but the mounting and everything is the same. So the reason I'm taking the 335i transmission is because it fits on that car, and the mounting should be, once I put the engine and everything, hopefully the mounting is the same, fits in the same spot as BMW's current mounting spot for the 335 manual transmission. So that's the reason I'm going with that. So yeah, so that's the update for this car. That's what's gonna happen with that car. It's just gonna be a process of mounting and getting that engine in the engine bay, mounting and getting it all mocked up, because it gives me something to do while Patience has this car. So I'll kind of focus on this one a little bit, and it will just be to get this mounted, mocked up. Patience most likely make me the engine mount for the 3UZ on this car and help me fix a couple of the things here, since there's a show in August that we want to bring this car to. And then for this one of the things that I need to still work on this one is figuring out why the radio still doesn't work. There's a lot of things with this car that need to be fixed. So the body shop will probably fix some of the little things that this car has, just little spots where there's rust, as you can see, but it's not too bad. It's lowered on coilovers from Border Suspension that you probably saw an install video on. And it has a thermal R&D exhaust, and that's all this car has. It doesn't have anything else. So more to come for this one, but not anytime soon. But yeah, so that's what's happening with this Lexus. We added the Earl's -24 AM fitting, and we added 2 of them. So these are 45 degrees. They're swiveled. The 90 degree from Earl's is not swiveled, so that's the reason I didn't get it. All I need to do now is just get the -24 hose from Earl's, or I can't remember the other company that makes a -24 AM hose, and make it, get the length from here to there. And then when Patience gets it, they'll be fixing how the dry brake sits. As you can tell, it sits in there, but not super flush. I just wanted it here because it's a high mount area. And I thought it would be pretty cool to kind of have it here, but it didn't quite fit as I wanted as I was cutting this section here. So Patience will most likely help me get this flush in here so it looks much better. And that's it, I think. I'll probably be running, instead of these APR mirrors, I'll be switching to the EVS, I think it's called. OMG Miata is running them on his Miata. So I might use the brackets that he has made for the Miata and see if I can just mount it here on this part of the car, and then just cut this piece off completely, make it flat. This area right here of the OEM, and just make it all completely flat and mount it here, right down the body panel. So that's an idea that I'm thinking of running with, just cutting this completely flat, making it look just a flat piece, or maybe just using a 3D printer and making this a flat piece. And maybe either mounting it there or just mounting it here, as, again, OMG Miata has a set of brackets that he's running for the Miata that I think will work for this car right in this spot here, so I can actually mount the mirrors. So here you see that I used the OMP steering wheel. I swapped it out from the D&D cancer awareness steering wheel. There's a limited edition and it's nice and beautiful, so I don't want to mess it up. So I want to save it for when the car goes to the show, kind of just hit more on the theme of the car, which is cancer awareness. But yeah, it's a mess still. Once I start getting these things done, I'll organize the garage better. I already have a couple ideas after seeing a couple of the people that I follow, like 2J. he has a nice little garage now, and I like kind of his setup. Another person that has a nice setup in his garage is Sean Bassett, who he is kind of the what do you call that? The ambassador, and also a U.S. sales rep for Aftermarket Industries, which is the company that I run the fuel hanger from, as well as you see these bulkhead fittings. So his garage setup is also pretty sweet. So I'm getting ideas of what I'm gonna do once I clean things up. So that's kind of the update on that. So yeah, so the next goal is just to kind of work on fixing the stereo. So on the next video, I'll kind of tackle that, just because I also have to go to work in a little bit, so I don't have a lot of time to tackle this right now. But the goal is to unplug the amplifier. I first have to find it, so I'm not sure if it's in the trunk or where it may be. I need to do some research for me to find that information on that. So yeah, so that's the quick update on the 3 cars. BMW 335i or BMW 335i will be a 1UZ, so a big vehicle running the full Elate Harrop root style blower on it. But before we do, gonna be running it with a built block, or the engine will be fully built before we put that engine in, just to be able to run like 500 wheel horsepower is the goal on that engine. And this car will be more of a daily driver on the summer, so I can actually drive and use it more for like promotional purposes, fun summer car. And this will continue to be my daily throughout the winter and everything. Even though it's a rear-wheel drive car, this is a car I drive in the winter. So that's why it doesn't have really crazy modifications right now. But as time goes on, I'll probably just retire it from being a daily and just use it for other fun things. But yeah, so again, thanks for watching. We'll keep you updated, and I'll add the quick video of me just swapping the D&D Performance Interior Cancer Awareness Limited Edition steering wheel for the old bent OMP Targa steering wheel. Again, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I banged the door here. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe and share our videos. If you have any questions or comments, please share them down below, and we'll make sure to answer them. So again, thank you for your support, and see you in the next episode.